there, Diana from Adirondack Girl at Heart. I teach vintage and antique lovers how to create successful antique businesses that they love. One of the ways I do that is through these videos, and another way is through my website, AdirondackGirlAtHeart.com. Head over for a visit and you'll find all kinds of articles about 100 different antiques and vintage items. Today I'm sharing a haul with you from one location. My sweet husband and I headed up to the Adirondacks to go to an estate sale. It was the second weekend of the estate sale, but the pictures that were posted looked pretty good, and it said that everything in the basement was 50% off. So we had a birthday party nearby, so we decided to head up even though I wasn't sure that it was going to be any good. Well, it was really great, and I had a lot of fun in that very dark and dingy basement. And everything was half off, and some things were even more than half off. So the main thing that I purchased was bottles. So every bottle of small to medium, large size was $1. And I happen to love bottles. I have a couple articles on my website, one about dating them and another about cleaning them. So I'll link to those down below. But I picked up 50 bottles. So 50 bottles for $1, obviously $50. I spent a total of $105 at the sale. So the bottles are super interesting. I'm not going to show you every single one because that would take forever, but I'm going to show you a few that I pulled out that were especially interesting to me anyway. And then I'll show you all of the other items, which were anywhere from $2 to, I think, $5. Yeah, $5 is the most I spent on any one item. So I'm gonna start with some ceramic items because they're right here in front of me and my mouth's a little dry. Okay, there we go. That is better. All right, so one of my favorite overall finds was this charming cookie jar. Perfect condition. I did check this one over. I did come home with at least one damaged item. Fortunately, it was only $1, and 2 of the bottles I picked up did have chips in them. It was disappointing, but boy, that basement was dark and it was hard to see. And of course, my adrenaline was pumping and I'm going through literally hundreds of bottles. Anyway, so here's the cookie jar. It looks like McCoy or one of those era potteries, and it is signed on the back. I don't think it's not McCoy because whatever that is would probably not be on McCoy. Anyway, it was originally $10. Like I said, everything was half off in the basement, which is where most of the things were from this day. I realized I left 2 items out in the car by accident. They were Crocs, really interesting Crocs. All the Crocs outside were $5. So I picked up 2 of them. Most of them were sort of average. The ones I picked up were stoneware. Obviously they were Crocs. No writing. None of them had writing on them, but I liked the ones I picked up. Anyway, okay, so cookie jar pigs are super collectible, and he was $5, and she, is it a she or he? Oh, he's got a cute little hat. Anyway, I think that she or he is worth maybe like $75 or $80. Okay, I'm gonna put him away, her away over here. All right, there we go. Okay, more ceramics. Here's a little Japan piece, I think. Got a lot of gold gilt. Just for $1, I wasn't gonna leave it behind, right? I did check this piece also, no chips or hairlines or anything like that. Should sell. I will look on Etsy and see what pieces like this are listed for. These are extremely plentiful, so I'm thinking $15, something like that. Here's the piece that I got that is chipped. So this is a a stamp wetter. What do they call it on the back? A moistener, a stamp moistener. So you'd fill the basin with water, and then you could roll this along and you could wet stamps, like if you had 100 things to mail or whatever. And I've had these before. I call them ironstone because I think that's what they are, and I think they look very cool in like an ironstone cupboard. And extremely heavy piece, should sell for about $20 on that piece. And then I don't typically pick up things like this, but I thought this has got a little bit of like a Majolica look here at the top. Little cane pear looking figure. I think it's probably made in Japan. It's not marked. Should sell for about $20. And then along the same lines, like cutesy things like this aren't my favorite, but people do like them. So with the bear. So these were $1 each, these two planters, or yeah, flower holders. And he should sell for about 15 to 18 on that one. And then I do have a little miniature picture collection. And I only keep the ones that I really, really like. The other ones I sell. This is a bisque picture. It was $1, maybe even 50 cents. I mean, at the end of the day, I had so many items. I wasn't standing next to them while they were pricing everything. I was still looking. So in any event, that would, if I was going to sell it, should sell for $10 to $12, something like that. And then I think this is the last ceramic piece. I just love this, like no chips at all. I would call it a fruit jar, except there's no way to really, you know, hold that lid in place. So something probably kept in the root cellar or something to be used like within a week or two. Anyway, cost $1, and I'm just in love with it. Needs a lot of cleaning on the lid, and I think it's worth about $25 to $30, that piece. Now I'm going to show you this because I was testing it. So this clock was $1, 1940s-ish look, right? And these sell quite well for me. It's in an oak case, and the clock is definitely working. Not sure about the alarm yet, but should sell for about $25 or $30. Might try that on Etsy also. Okay, here, oh, I have another ceramic piece. Little blue onion, that's what this pattern is called. Lantern, and it was $2.50, so it was half off. Actually, I think it was $1.50. So the small lanterns were $3. Nothing super interesting except for this one, and I think it should sell for about $25 to $30. Really liked that. I'm gonna set this over here so I don't break it. All right, how about, let's take a look at a few of the bottles now. This first one I'm going to show you was not $1. So some of the larger bottles were a little bit more. So this was half off of $5. And just really beautiful. I love this. It's like a demijohn, right? And needs some little bit of cleaning. It has some paint spatters on it. The cork is in there. That's never coming out, right? Okay, so one of the ways you can tell the age of bottles is where the mold line extends to. Okay, so on this one, the mold line goes right up to the neck. Can you see that mold line right there? So earlier mold lines would have ended like the earliest right about here, and then the whole neck would have been applied after. So bottles where the mold line goes right up to the neck like that, or the lip, date to after 1900. But I would date this to about 1900, 1910, something like that. Here's the bottom. It's just got the letter J on there. Have no idea what that means. This is probably a wine. It does say Varese right there on the lip. Don't know what that means either, but this would have held wine. Has some really awesome seeds in the glass. Can you see those right there? You know, so that's an indication of of an older piece of glass. So love that. All right, so if I'm going to sell it, it was $2.50. I would probably price this at about $35 to $40. And here's another piece of aqua glass. So my understanding is that aqua is not the chosen color for pieces that are aqua, but rather that the minerals or whatever it is in the stuff that you make glass out of is what caused the aqua color. So let's see. So this same thing, the mold line goes right up to there. So this is after 1900. People love these round bottom bottles. I don't have any trouble selling them at all. It has lots of nice little seeds all the way through it. And I will probably price this at 20 to 25. Okay, so I picked up, excuse me, this ceramic bottle just because I really liked it, really liked the label. Some kind of German something or other. I don't know if it was wine, probably wine. Yes, I'm going to say wine. So I think this should sell for $15 to $20. Really like that one. It was $1. So all the rest of the bottles I'm going to show you were $1. Here's a jar, milk glass jar. It was $1. Should sell for about $12. And here's a sake bottle. Not super old, but definitely like the 1960s, right? It's made in Japan, and cute little cup as the lid. It's got a cork lid. Just really, I just thought it was so cute, and so I would probably put 15 to 18 on that piece. And a couple of toiletry items. So I have an article that I'm working on right now about perfume bottles and perfume adjacent. So this is Evening in Paris. Very, very well known and easily identified, right, by the cobalt. This is a talc jar, and it's about 80% full. Not that I don't know that anybody's still using the talc. Maybe they are. So this is probably worth about $10 to $12. But I have a small collection of Evening in Paris bottles, some filled with a scent, some empty, and I, excuse me, think I'm going to put them together and sell them as a lot on eBay. So then I came across two little bottles. This is a Yardley bottle, and it's hard to read the label, but what's so interesting to me about this is that some of the perfume has crystallized. There's literally crystals down there. So I just think that's so interesting. Not sure what that would be worth. Nice crystal stopper there. It kind of stuck. Hard to get the stoppers out of bottles that have labels because you don't want to ruin the label, right? So probably $12, $10 to $12 for that one. And then look at this teeny tiny little, this is a metal casing on this bottle. And it does have some writing on the bottom, but, oh, it's Coty, that's right, C-O-T-Y, that very well-known brand of perfume. And have no idea, too bad that the little lid is missing there, but maybe $10 or $12 for that. Have to do a little research. So another article that I'm currently working on, I hope to publish soon, is about medical remedies. They call them patent medicines or quack medicines, that sort of thing. And so I picked up about I think about 20 of those bottles. And here are two of them. Lydia Pinkham's vegetable compound. So her name should ring a bell for most people because, oh my gosh, just sold for years and years. And I think you can actually still pick up a formula of hers. Completely different ingredients, but Something I think you can pick up online. Anyway, I think this Lydia bottle is worth about $10 or $12. What I often do is group together 3 bottles that look nice together, 3 aqua bottles, slightly different sizes, and sell them as a group on Etsy. And then the second one that I'll show you is this is Father John's Medicine from Lowell, Massachusetts. Nice bottle. This one does have a screw top, but nice to have the zinc lid on there. Worth about $20 or so. I did check him out on eBay. And here's a decanter. I think this is by, oh goodness, Wharton. Not sure what that says exactly on the bottom, but these aren't super old, date to about the 1970s. Really nice stopper there. I like that. And then it says friendship. I don't know, that shield looks like, I don't know, some sort of shield. So $25 to $30 for that bottle. This was so cool. I didn't realize till I got home, but this bottle is Pyrex, and Pyrex started out as more sort of laboratory glass. This is actual glass. It's not like Pyrex casseroles and things like that. Marked on the bottom, and really in really nice shape. I would sell. I'm gonna try that at about $25. I seem to have a $25 to $30 price in my head today. Okay, so, oh, and here's a little creamer. There were a lot of creamers. These don't sell great for me, but Seal Test is a good name. I picked one up where the label was in really good shape and not, you know, scratched off at all. Should sell for about $12 on that. And then I picked up a Hoosier jar. So the jars that have these lines going down and then a little bit of indication there that says coffee. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the lid. So it would have had a thin sort of zinc lid. I guess I'm hoping that I'll come across a lid somewhere. But even so, this one is worth, if it had the lid, it would be like $40, $35 or $40. That's how I would price it. Without the lid, probably $20 on that one. Okay, I'm back. Had to take a little break there. Had a little hot flash. So where were we? Okay, I have some fruit jars or canning jars to show you. Again, these were all $1. Oh, before I do that, here is another jar without a lid, unfortunately. But this is Mercantile. It says held cigars, Havana cigars. It held 50, it says that on the bottom. Some nice embossing there. I just thought this had a great look, so some cigar lover I think is gonna really like that. Has some nice seeds, super big one right there. I think it should sell for about $25 or $30. And okay, so now to the fruit jars. There were a lot of them. I only picked up a few because I have so many canning jars that I'm waiting to sell, but this is a new one for me. This is Jeanette Mason Home Packer. I'm not sure if this is related to Jeanette, Pennsylvania, but I feel like it probably is because there was a Jeanette glass. My husband's from Jeanette, so, or near Jeanette. His parents are from Jeanette. And then he grew up in the next town over. So I picked it up because I want to keep my canning jar guide that I sell up to date. So I'll add this into the guide, and I'll link to that guide below. It goes into the history of a number of different canning jar manufacturers, and then it has a price guide. It gives you prices on all of the jars that are in the guide. And then Leotric, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but this is a good seller for about $20. And I read that some people, canning jar experts, think that the mold for the electric canning jar was used to create Leotric, and so they wiped out the E, which would have been in front of the L, and then they turned the C into an O. That was an interesting story. Okay, and then I've never had this jar. This is Blue Ribbon, and it's got the metal clip on that holds the lid in place. And this is by the Smalley, Kivlin and Onthink. So that was a Boston, Massachusetts company that produced a lot of different jars, and they had patents on a lot of these lids. And then, oh, I loved this one. So this says Beech Nut. So I'm not sure if this is the Beech Nut Company. I do think it is, which is located kind of a little bit west of here, was located a little bit west of here. It says patented on October 23rd, 1900. So this jar dates to 1900 or later. And just thought that was really cool. This looks like it would have had a wax paper lid that was tied on with paper. So there's a groove right there. And I've never come across this before, so I don't know how much it's worth. I'm hoping some decent money, maybe $20 or so on that one. And then here's the last jar. I picked this one up because it's amethyst. So bottles that were out in the sun at all sometimes turn lavender like that. Some great seeds. It would have had a glass lid that sat on here, and maybe a bail around the neck, not sure, but as an amethyst jar, that is probably worth about $20. Okay, so that's it for the glass. A couple of metal things. This was a cigar holder, a tin. So for $1, that doesn't look very good. That's just some tape residue, right? For $1, I decided to pick it up. It's hard to go back and think, oh, why did I like that thing when I was just kind of, in a buzz, walking around trying to find all the good stuff. So here's a little Motto trivet. These sell for about $10 or $12 fairly quickly for me from my antique booth. This is a sweet one about dads with a little puppy dog there. I think this was 50 cents. All right, my husband found this. It's just a decorative horn, right? But I thought at Christmas time I would turn it into a wreath. I put some sort of pine and berries or something, right there, and probably sell it at the craft show that I participate in every year at the Shaker Heritage Society. It's actually a holiday market. It's about a 10-week long market. And I have an article filled with all kinds of crafts that I make for that show that do very well. So I will link to that. And here is another item that I'll use for the show. So pretty rusty. I'll scrape it down with a metal brush. I have an article about how to clean up rusty things. I'll link to that also. So I'll clean it up. I will put some wood salve on it. That's my wood salve that I give the recipe for on my website. And then I'll decorate it. I might not put the wood salve on because I kind of like this more matte look to it. Not sure about that, but I will decorate it with some holiday greenery and berries and that sort of thing. And this one is, I just think it's awesome. Should sell for about $30 or $35. So that's it for metal. Now we have some miscellaneous items. Here is a Brownie camera. I've been wanting to pick one of these up for a long time. I have a price guide on my website that you can get access to when you subscribe to my newsletter, which there's a link down below where you can subscribe. And so I want to add this to the price guide. These aren't super valuable, but just historically very interesting, at least to me. Should sell for about $12 or $15. And here's a cigar box, another cigar box. Really nice wooden cigar box with a kind of an ornate sweet latch there. And it was $1, half off of 2, right? Should sell for about $25 or $30. Here's another box. Has some issues, right? Paint spatter there. It was also $1. I don't believe this was a cigar box because it's got a lock on it. No key, unfortunately, but just a really nice antique box, right? So I will see if I can get, I'm not gonna try. Last time I tried to get paint off a wooden box, I scraped it right down to bare wood, and that did not look good at all. So I'll leave it like this and price it at about $18 to $20. And okay, last 2 items. This is an address book. So it's obviously for a business because it's huge. And it is empty, brand new in the box. I sell items like this on Etsy, and people who create junk journals, artists who like the paper, right? Because the inside is interesting, right? Pick these up. I have no trouble selling them at all. So I believe this ledger, which has a leather-like cover on it, should sell for about $30 to $35 on Etsy. Maybe even a little bit more. It's pretty cool. Okay, last item. Love this. Wish I knew more about it. It's a stone mortar and pestle. Mortar and pestle sell really well out of any material. Usually you find them in wood, ironstone, and marble. So this is stone, definitely has some age to it. It was used quite regularly, it seems. Nothing really to indicate anything on the bottom there. If you know anything about it, let me know. It was $5, I think they charged me for this. Also, I don't think I mentioned, so the lantern was $2.50 because they were originally $5, and the camera was $2.50 also. I think I mentioned the prices for everything else. The horn that I'm going to turn into a wreath, that was $2.50. And yeah, so everything added up to $105, and so this was $5. Tell me something about it if you know in the comments, okay? So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing this amazing haul from a very dark basement in the Adirondacks. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. Go head over and check out my website, Adirondack Girl at Heart. And as always, happy hunting.